the Wismec Predator 228. How's it going, everyone? I'm Brian and I'm back with another video, and today, yes, we have the Predator 228 designed by Sinuous by Wismec. And yes, it's a 228 watt device. There's two different versions. There's a version that comes with the Wismec Alabo tank, sub-ohm tank, and then there's the version with just the device itself. And I have the version with just the device. So let's do this. Let's get up close and personal, and I'll give you all the stats about it. I'll navigate through the screen. I'll show you the temperature control, and I'll also show you the juice of the day. So let's get up close right now, shall we? What's going on, guys? So here we have in front of us, we have the box that the Predator 228 comes in. We have the device itself and today's juice of the day. It's called Milk by the Pound. What it is a buttery pound cake drenched in ice cold milk. It is delicious. So first, real quick, let's just see the box. See? Shows a picture of a silver device on there. Like I said, there's two different versions. There's a version that comes with the Wismec Alabo sub-ohm tank and the version with just the device itself. And this one that I have is just a device. So it shows a picture of a silver one on there. And then that's the sides. And then on the back here, it tells you the colors that it comes in. And as you can see, mine is black. It tells you what's in the box. Then there's your barcode, your scratch and sniff. The website's also on this box, and age limitations. Then that would be a mod, of course. Alright, guys, so in the box, you get this. This tells you not to use damaged or torn wrapped batteries. I love when devices come with this because people don't realize that using batteries like that without a wrapping or that are dented or whatever can be very dangerous. So I like that this is all included now. You also get a USB charging port and for firmware upgrades. And you also get this nice owner's manual. Alright, so getting onto the device, here it is right here. The Wismec Predator 228 watt mod designed by Sinuous. So there's the menu. So up top, let me show you. So here is your 510 connection right here. As you can see, it is spring loaded. But I do have a gripe about it, and it happened to me recently, right before I started shooting this video. This negative threading for your 510 connection is just press fitted in this device. And one day, I was wondering why my tanks don't sit down all the way. You'll see it when I put the tank back on. So I unscrewed the tank and the negative threading came with it. So that is one gripe that I have with this mod so far, is that the 510 negative threading is only press fitted in. When I put a tank on, as you can see, there is a gap. So here is the menu to the Wismec Predator. As you see, it's 75 watts. So in order to get into this, if you want to switch it into temperature control, you click the fire button 3 times. This whole side right here is the firing button, by the way. And as you see, it blinks. You want to press the right hand button. And it will ask you about your USB charging. Then it'll say temp SS. Then if you press it to the left and then to the right again, you can change your metals. As you can see, I'm doing right now. At nickel, titanium, stainless steel. And then when you go to the left, you can adjust your wattage right here. Or if you press it again to the left, you can lock your resistance. And then you can reset your puff counter if you press the left hand button. And then it goes back up top. And then what happens is, once you adjust your wattage, see how it's blinking? It will just adjust it up and down. So when you want to set it, you just press the button like that. And then mine, because I don't have a temperature control device on here, it automatically goes into power mode. You have to have, it has to read a temperature control coil or a build in order for it to actually read in temperature control. Alright, so this scrolls very fast, as you can see. And it goes from 1 to 228 watts. So let's get it back up to 75 watts. And as you can see, I went way past it. It's kind of hard to do this on camera. And it scrolls so fast, I keep going past it. Okay, so we're back at 75 watts. So what I want to show you is when I press the fire button, it's going to change. See how it says 85? That's a preheat function. In order to get into the preheating function, what you got to do is you got to press the button on the right and the firing button at the same time. And it's going to say this, logo on off. Preheat, that's how I preheated it, and in order to get into the wattage, you press it to the left, and it will go down to the time, and then you press the fire button again, and there you go. And then also, let me do that again, because there's three things in here. Logo, preheat, and then it says USB on off. You can put your USB wire on so you can do firmware updates, or you can shut it off so you don't do firmware updates. So let me show you a couple of other things. In order to turn it off, click it 5 times. So if you press just the two, the left and right button, it's going to rotate your screen while it's off. If you press the left button and the fire button, you don't get anything. If you press the right button and the fire button, you don't get anything. But if you press both buttons at the same time and then the fire button, just like the old one, it's going to read your battery. Pretty cool, huh? So if you press just the right button while it's off, it doesn't do anything. And if you press the left button while it's off, it still doesn't do anything. Okay, another thing you can do with this while the device is on, if you press the left and right button at the same time while it's on, you're going to get key lock. And what that is you can still fire the device, but you can't adjust the wattage. And I think that is a good thing, because a lot of the times the buttons are very finicky on this, and when you put it in your pocket, it tends to want to change on its own. It's happened to me before. I've had a tank like this on there, and all of a sudden I don't check the board, and I vape it, and it's a really scorching hot vape, and it's at like 228 watts. So you press both the buttons at the same time. And if you press the left button and the fire button at the same time, you're going to get stealth mode. So every time you press the button and fire it, the screen will shut off. In order to shut that off, you just do it again. So there we go. And I don't believe it does anything if you press the right button and the fire button. Oh no, that's how you get in your menu screen, I'm sorry. Yeah, see? We already went through that. Let's get out of stealth mode now, because something else I want to show you. Alright, so some stats for the Wismec Predator 228. Its weight is 168 grams. The size, its width across this way is 43.5 millimeters. The top of it is 29 millimeters. And the length of it is 86, or actually more like rounded off to 87 millimeters. So you can fit 29 millimeter tanks on here. It's, as you know, it is 510 threaded, spring loaded. Its wattage range, like I said, is 1 to 228 watts. Now the resistance range on this in temperature control mode, it fires down to 0.05 and it goes up to 1.5 ohms. When you switch it into power mode, it'll only fire down to 0.1 up to 3.5 ohms. So your temperature range on this in Celsius is 100 to 315 degrees, and in Fahrenheit it is 200 to 600 degrees. Your max charging current is 2 amps, and your voltage range goes all the way down to 0.5 up to 9 volts. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to compare. I'm going to put a couple of tanks on it just to show you. So this tank that I have on here now is the Griffin 25 Plus. This is really actually a 26 millimeter tank, and as you can see, it looks good. And as you can see up here, it doesn't quite come to the end. As you can see at the top here, there's like this lip thing, and it still doesn't, there's still a little bit of room there. So I'm going to put a 27 millimeter tank. Let's check that out. Guys, so here's how it looks with a 27 millimeter. As you can see, because of that lip, there's barely any room. Like right here in the front, it sits just about flush. But on the sides, you could still fit a little bit. So I think you might be able to go maybe to 28, and that would be about it. I think anything more than 28 would probably overhang in the front right here. So let me show you a 24.5 millimeter tank. So here's how she looks with a 24.5 millimeter tank. As you can see, that fits nicely. It looks great. There's still a little bit of room right there because the bottom of this tank is 24.5 millimeters, as you guys remember, the TFE 12. And she looks good on there. Alright guys, so I'm going to compare it to a couple of mods, just so you can see the size. So here is the Predator up against the Alien. And as you can see, the Predator is a tad bit taller. And it's set up very similar because they both have the fire buttons on the side. As you can see, there's a little bit of height difference, but their width looks just about the same. Their width is the same though, guys, as you can see. Here it is next to the Sigelei Chaos, which I have a review coming up very shortly on this. And as you can see, they are the exact same size, same length. Here they are side by side that way. And here's the top. And these look like they're about the same width at the top also. Let's find out. And these are also about the same width across, pretty much. And last but not least, here is the Smock GX350. I mean the G320, I apologize. And as you can see, they're the same height, but the G320 is definitely bigger because it's a triple battery device. And here's how they look at the top. So they're about the same width again. Alright guys, so that does it for me down here. I feel pretty comfortable going up top, talking about it, vaping on it, and telling you my gripes. I'll see you up top. Alright guys, and I'm back up top with the Wismec Predator 228. The Wismec Predator, it seems like it vapes on point. Like, it doesn't seem like it has any lag. I don't feel lag because some devices, when their batteries drain, it tends to lag and not vape at that wattage. But this one seems to keep up until it says weak battery, which it will tell you when the batteries get low. Some other pros about this is I like the size. The size is beautiful on this thing. Vape's real nice too. This Griffin 25 Plus is popping on here. I know it's an old school tank, but this is one of my favorite RTAs still to this day. I use it every day, and that's why I have it on here. I think it looks pretty damn good. So some other pros is it's a dual battery. The battery life is actually pretty good on this depending on what you build. Very easy. As I showed you guys, I didn't show you this, but here is the battery door. There is this little thing here, and you just open it up. As you can see, there's a plus and a minus. Very easy. And then just to close it, you pull that button back, and there you go. I had to show you that because I didn't show you that in the close-up. But anyways, cons on this thing. My number one con is that 510 connection. Okay, I thought it just had a gap because they just didn't fix their 510. Well, they did. It's much more betterly spring-loaded. But the negative threading in it is only press-fitted in. And one time when I pulled out my tank, that negative threading came with it. So that's why it's sticking out. Now, it didn't do it in the video because I pressed it down pretty good. But eventually, other people are probably going to have the problem if you're always switching tanks on this thing like I do. I've been trying to use the same tank to avoid that, but sometimes I like to switch it up. And another gripe I have about this is the scrolling. This thing scrolls so fast that I always miss to where the wattage as to where I want to put it. I always go past it. It scrolls so fast. And the other gripe I have about it is when I put it in temperature control mode, I don't like the fact that once I adjust the wattage and I push the button to the left or the right, that I have to, you know, if I want to lock my resistance, that I have to go back into that menu to get to it again. I'm not really a big fan of that. But other than that, the biggest thing is that 510 connection. So guys, that does it for me. I still recommend it. This is a really good device. I'm sure that they're going to fix that problem with the 510. I guarantee it. It's Wismec. They're a good, reliable company. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. If I've earned your subscription, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you know when I put a video up. I also have an Instagram and I have a Facebook that you can follow me on too. The links will be down below in the box. And I'll also have links for advocacy. But other than that, guys, that's it for me. I'll catch you here next time on the next video. And remember, vape on and have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching.